Hey guys, what's up? It's Monkozonki and welcome to the new world event, Tuska. So I believe this is the third world event. So let's go check it out and see what it's all about. First of all, Tuska is some sort of giant elephantine creature that's trying to destroy the world. And I don't know about you guys, but I live on the world. I'm sure most of you probably do as well, and you probably don't want it to be destroyed. So it might be a good idea to join in the world events to stop that from happening. So what you do is you want to teleport to Tuska. It's a new place on the Lodestone network. And as soon as you'll get there, you'll go through a small cinematic showing off the area and showing off the different things that you can do in a very vague way of explaining it. And this event is a bit confusing when you first start, which is the purpose of this video being made. But the general thing that you want to know is that every single day you can do a D&D. It takes about 20 minutes, and that will get you the majority of the points, the reward points that you can spend on items and stuff. So first order of business is to join a faction. I personally joined Armadillo, and you can change your faction every single day if you want to. Every single day there's a new battle between the factions, and the faction that wins the day, and I'm not entirely sure what happens beyond that, but talk to those guys, join the faction, and then you want to go over to the D&D, and between the start of each hour and the 20-minute mark of each hour, you can join the D&D, and after that you have to wait till the start of the next hour to join it. But you want to do this once a day, and that will give you 1,000 points if you fully complete the D&D, which is really easy to do. Okay, so for the daily D&D that you can do for Tuska, you're transported to 4 islands, and these islands can be completely random, so you can go to them in any order, but you always get the 4 same islands every single time you do the event. So the first of the islands that I'm showing off here is the Lightning Pillars Island, and there's a couple things that you can do here. You can attack the lightning, or you can also lure the large lightning balls into the middle, or you can alternatively just do it the easy way and build up the pillars, which I would recommend because it gives construction XP, it's somewhat AFK, and you can get your full 25% of the progress bar on the top of the screen just from building the pillars. So this is probably your best bet, and I wouldn't personally even worry about the other stuff, but the goal is to get 25% of the bar for every single section. So all 4 of the islands, 25% of the bar. It's really easy to do as long as you're paying attention. So for the first island, just build the pillars or lure the lightning into the middle. Either one works perfectly fine. Okay, for the second island that I managed to get here, and remember this one can be completely different for you, but you will get this island eventually. What will happen is vines will start to come out of the ground, and there will also be a fire that you can collect a torch with, and then you can burn the vines. So what you want to do is burn as many of the tentacles as possible, and you have an area of effect with the torches, so as you burn one tentacle, it will hit all of the tentacles around it as well. So what you want to do is burn down tentacles, and you get progress for doing this, and it does not matter if you stop the tentacles from expanding and destroying the entire island. The goal is just to burn them down, and you get 5 minutes to do this, and you again need to get 25% total on your progress bar at the top. It's really easy to do as long as you're paying attention, and it's kind of decent fire making XP as well, so this is probably one of the better islands that you want to get. Alright, so we're done with the fire making island, and the next island up here is the agility course island, as I like to call it, and there's 4 miniature islands within a formation here, and what you want to do is go between the islands, and you want to find the gate stone that's active, and then you harvest from that, and that will give you quite a bit of divination XP. So I like this island a lot. It's probably my favorite one just because it gives fairly decent XP drops. You get agility XP from crossing all of the obstacles except for one. The gate stone obstacle gives you dungeoneering XP, and it's a pretty big XP drop every single time you get it. So the goal is just to go between the 4 islands as shown, and you can't go through them any other way. You have to go through it all one way, clockwise, between the islands, find the active gate stone, harvest from it, and again, just like the previous 2 islands, and just like all 4 of them really, it's quite easy to get your 25% progress, just hopping between the islands, and occasionally a meteorite can crash to the ground as well, and if you mine that, you'll get a bit of mining XP and some progress as well. But the goal is just get up to 25% on this island, and it should be really easy to do, and you'll get some nice divination XP for doing it. So this final island that I'll be showing here is the farming and woodcutting island, and this one is probably the most complex concept, but it is a really cool concept at the same time. I like this island a lot, just the way it looks and what you're doing here. So the goal is, first of all, you want to cut the vines, and you'll get mysterious herbs from cutting them. And then you want to crush those, and you'll gain some essence that you can use to grow the tree's roots. And you want to grow them so that they reach the plants in the ground, and those plants will flower, and you can harvest seeds from them and put them back into the tree in the center. Are you following all this? Yeah, it's kind of a lot to take in all at once. But you want to cut quite a few vines when you first enter the island, and sometimes they don't spawn right away, so you might have to wait a few seconds for a vine to spawn. You should be fine. You'll have plenty of time to still complete the event. And then as soon as you have quite a few of these herbs crushed, then you can start growing the tree. Just like the previous Agility Course island, there can sometimes be meteorites that can crash into this island as well, so mind them if you want. The main thing that's annoying about this island is there are, along with the meteorites and the vines, a lot of times the objects in the scenery will get in your way, so you'll have to remove them before you can continue to grow the roots. So just keep that in mind, but as soon as you nurture the first root all the way to the plant, the seed will blossom and it looks a lot better, and you want to continue doing this several times. It takes about 4 plants where you collect the seed and return it to the tree before you get your 25% done and fully charge the weapon if this is your last island, or continue to charge it. And it's really easy to complete. It doesn't take too long, and if this is your 4th island, or if you've reached the 4th island by now, it's finally time for the weapon to be fully charged and to stab Tuska. Okay, so now the grand reveal of why you did all of these menial labor tasks is because for some reason doing these activities charges up the spear that you use to stab Tuska, so you get teleported away after your 20 minutes are up onto Tuska's tusk. And if you have fully completed all 4 of the minigames, or even if you haven't fully completed them, if you haven't done all of them to 25%, so got 100% in total, then you will still gain points, just not as many. So you want to climb on Tuska's tooth and then stab her in the face with your spear, which just sounds like a grand time, doesn't it? So after you do this, the D&D is now complete, and you can go back and do it tomorrow for an additional 1,000 points, but if you fully completed it, you'll get 1,000 points. If you got like 99%, you'll get 990 points. I'm sure you can follow exactly how that works, but this is what you want to be doing every single day for the Tuska event. Okay, so this is the reward shop. You go back to those guys where you originally chose to join a faction with, and then this is some of the stuff that you can buy. There's a bunch of spear overrides, which look like the spears that you stab Tuska with, and this is probably the most interesting new reward, is the Tuska's Wrath ability. It's an ability that does up to 100 times your Slayer level in damage to a Slayer monster, and it's a basic, so that's a lot of damage on Slayer task. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on bosses, so you can't use it on stuff like QBD on a Black Dragon's task, but against regular Slayer targets, that's really good. And you can also buy XP lamps and War Priest armor and stuff like that as well. And finally, if you want a few more reward points per day, what you can do is you can balance on the blue posts on Tuska's back. And what these do, if you're standing on the one that has lightning coming out of it, and this will change about every 20 seconds, is it gives a decent amount of agility XP, and you can also get shards of Tuska, which you can trade into the guy at the D&D entrance for some additional reward points. You can alternatively cut down the spines that occasionally grow out of the green posts, and this gives woodcutting XP, and it can also give you some shards of Tuska, or you can also kill the Slayer creatures in the very south of the area, and they will occasionally drop shards of Tuska. So this is what you want to do if you want some additional reward points, and you've already done the D&D, but the reward points are quite slow, and the XP isn't very good, so use this to your own discretion. But anyway, that's about all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this sums up the event nicely for you, and I wish you all good luck on unlocking that new ability, or the War Priest, or whatever you're deciding to go for, and I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.